Mally Rojo, the Seattle Seahawks user. I almost said Texans user because I'm so used to that. But this year, the Seattle Seahawks. And I am here with Bacon and Papa Greeny, and we're going to give you guys some updates on the usage percentage and air yards average. That's a rule in PML. As you all know, we have caps on those. For the air yards, it's 18.5, and for the usage percentage, it is 29.9% for one player. But first, let Bacon and Papa go ahead and give your personalized introductions.
What's up, guys? How's everyone doing? I'll try not to be too nervous tonight. Not too many ums.
Hey, it happens to the best of us. All right, awesome. So I last night I calculated the usage. So any games that happen today, it's going to be a little bit out of date. But do you guys have that calculated already, or are you guys going to kind of be learning along here with me?
A little bit of both.
Okay, cool. So do you guys know who's over?
Let's see. I know that Joe Mixon is, because I was looking at the Bengals numbers before I play him.
Okay,
Joe Mixon is like 35%.
there's four players who are over, and they all have one thing in common. And I was wondering if maybe you guys could guess what they all have in common.
Running backs.
Exactly. You guys called it. All four that are over the usage percentage for receiving are running backs. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I was looking at the catch numbers. It was not what I expected, to say the least.
Yeah, we do have a couple on the cusp that are wide receivers, but we'll go over that. We'll kind of do it by division. Um, but I have a list here, so we'll just go down the list. The first one I have is the Patriots, and their most used player is, of course, the infamous Demir. Is that how you pronounce it? Demir? Do you guys know?
Mm, I think so.
Demir Bird. And he's actually just under. He's got him under. I know he benched him, I think, one game already. And he was talking about possibly benching him another. But at the current moment, as of last night when I calculated it, Demir Bird is at 28.6%, which is about 1% below the threshold there. You guys think about that? Did you guys expect that? I know a lot of people have been talking about Bird.
I mean, I know when I played him, he was way over, but he started using him less. Sorry, drama. We probably won't go in too much on that one.
Yeah, I know he mentioned that he definitely benched him for one, and I think he was saying that he had one coming up. He's going to bench him as well. So we'll see if he remains. He doesn't really. I don't think he's pushed to have to play him because I think he's pretty much secured his spot already. But but he may be trying to push for that MVP status or something like that. I don't know if he's up there.
Ooh, HD said that Colts doesn't have his audio setting set to share.
Uh oh. Let's see if we can get that fixed up real quick. If you go to party settings, it should be allow your voice to be shared. Check that to always allow. Should probably move to the team we're talking about, huh?
Huh? Alright, you should be able to hear me now. It should be working fine.
Cool. Mic check. HD, we good? But yeah, anyways, so Bird he's up there, but he's just under. So as long as he doesn't pop off these last few games, he should make it without suspension.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to play him these last few games. Save him for the playoffs. Don't get him suspended.
Yeah, he really needs them. If I think he's got some guys that are kind of stepping up now, like Nikhil Hiri. I've seen him do some things the last few games because, of course, he's Bird's benched, but he's performed well. But he needs it for the top comp. So when he gets to the big games. And just for anybody curious, the way that we calculated this, if you ever wanted to check your own after this, is the best way to do it is through Daddy Leagues. Right here I have Madden on the screen, but Madden won't show like just the team stats only. But I was told that if you go to Daddy Leagues, it'll show the stats for the team only. So if there was like a trade, that way it doesn't get messed up because sometimes, you could trade a player. I think Bacon knows about that.
A little something about that.
So yeah, that can kind of mess up the numbers. But from what I've heard, if you go through Daddy Leagues, it tells you the team stats only. So you can take the receptions and you want to divide that by your passing completions total, and that's how you get your percentage.
Sorry, JT.
Don't kick me, please.
Don't kick me, please.
But that was the only person in danger with the Patriots. Next up, we have the Dolphins. He's not really in danger, but I just got the highest guy on the totem pole just to give him a heads up. But he's pretty well under with Mike Gesicki at 23.1%. Any shocks there?
Not really. Mike spreads it out pretty well. I don't think he's
Yeah.
ever going to be an issue with unsim numbers.
Yeah, he does. And up next, we'll just kind of fly through the ones that really aren't in danger too much, but just to give them a heads up. Jets, you got Christopher Herndon at 0.2, so you're which is 20%, so you're well in range and pretty well spread out, not even close, so you're good to go there.
Taco time.
Taco time. Oh yeah, sorry, dude. I was thinking of you. I was thinking of you just now because last year. I was like telling you, but yeah, that's actually the CPU, which tends to spread the ball out pretty well for you. So there you go, Taco. You're all set up. You can ball out as much as you want these last few games. And then finally the Bills. Stephon Diggs is their highest targeted player, and he's at 23.6%. So he's in pretty good shape as well. And then next we'll move on.
People there over 45 catches, definitely spreading it around.
Yeah. Yeah, I should probably. And then we can move on to the AFC West, which this actually surprised me because at first I thought he was going to be in trouble early on in the season, but he's started to spread it out a little bit more. The Chargers, their highest targeted player is, of course, Keenan Allen. And he is at 24.8%, so he's actually well in range. Mike Williams has kind of had an emergence recently, and he's getting some use out of Hunter Henry as well, so that's kind of equaled out, but I was worried for him at first.
Yeah, I think there was one point in the season where he was on pace for like 3,000 receiving yards, so
Yeah,
good to
it
see
was
he turn
insane.
that around.
Yeah, he's finding other options. Mike Williams is up there with 58 catches now, and I think he recently started using Rico Gafford, and he's got 22 catches. So just mixing in a lot of guys like Rico Gafford and Reggie Davis helps. The Raiders, up next is the Raiders, and he is one of the guys who is just barely under. He is right on the cusp. Henry Ruggs, we all know he's been balling out. I know he's had a couple games that is like 300 plus yards. You guys see that?
I have not seen that, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
he
he's been going
uses
crazy.
him well, though. It's not just, I just played him 2 weeks ago, and man, he's hitting him on slants, he's hitting him on out routes, he's hitting him all over the field. So it's tough following that guy.
Yeah, he's got 88 catches, but he's still spreading the ball pretty well. Ruggs has 88, Waller has 71, Miller has 51, and then he's got 3 or so guys with 20 plus catches. So that's pretty good balance, even though Henry Ruggs, you do have to be a little bit careful, and you might want to slow him down, or you might even have to, I mean, if you get to the end of the season and you're not in the running, you might want to bench him so you don't get him taken out for next year, because he is right now at 29.7%, so he's only 0.2% under the threshold. And Darren Waller is at. I just made note of this for the ones that are kind of close on the other end. Darren Waller is also at 24%, which is pretty good, but you don't want to. If you're taking away from Ruggs and trying to put him at Waller, you might bump him up there close to as well. So just something to look out for.
It's Nelson Aguilar time.
Yeah, Nelson Aguilar time. Tyrell Williams sometimes gets some fucking crazy animations, I've noticed, though.
Really?
Yeah, when I've used him in other leagues, I think it's like his frame. He's so tall and lanky. And he just
6'4", 6'5".
yeah, he jumps up and grabs some crazy shit I saw. So after the Raiders, we move on to the Chiefs, who are pretty safe. They have a couple guys up there in the 25% range. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, his running back, is at 25.7%, and Tyreek Hill is at 25%. So something to keep an eye on, but they're both pretty well under, as long as you keep kind of distributing the ball as you have been.
Yeah, I've noticed that over the years that he really likes to throw it to his running back. So I kind of thought Edwards-Helaire might be in trouble, but he seems to be all right.
Yeah, he's 25.7. Looks like the targets to Hardman and Kelsey and Watkins have helped kind of equal it out, even though Hilaire is at 67 receptions for a running back, which is pretty up there. It's Madden, though, right?
Yep.
All right. Next one is the Broncos. Their highest percentage used player is Noah Fant, and he's not really in danger at all. He's at 24.2%. So you're pretty safe there with the 51 receptions. Pretty well spread out. I think he's more of a running team anyways, but...
Could use Philip Lindsay then.
Yeah, not to get too off track here, but it's what's kind of weird is that he traded Philip Lindsay, and I thought, oh, well, he's got Melvin Gordon, so that makes sense. And I don't know if Melvin Gordon's hurt or what, but Melvin Gordon is not even getting the action. It's some random rookie named Levante Bellamy who has like 89 speed. So that like baffled me.
Yeah, it's
Maybe he sees something that we don't see.
Yeah, I mean the young guys they have the better chance to dev up and get those, I guess, devs. So, all right, moving on to the north.
Wait, okay,
The natural said
Michel,
Philip
right?
Lindsay is the most overrated R running back in PML. You guys think
Wait,
about that?
okay. Not to go off track, but he traded for Sony Michel, right?
Yes, he did.
Sony Michel has 1 carry with the Broncos.
I was gonna say he has 118 attempts and 705 yards, but I wasn't sure if that was from how much of that was from the natural, or him. But
yeah,
I see.
He has
Yeah,
1 rush for 5 yards in Denver.
that's crazy. Yeah, and he's got Melvin Gordon. He's got 55 for 209 on the year, and Bellamy's got 169 for 827. Weird choice, but here we are.
I can't be mad at it. I think we all would have.
I want to
that if
say
he
that
did.
the Sony Michel thing was just to make the calc right, to be honest.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Natural says Bellamy #Bellamy season. Big facts. Justifying that trade there. Okay. Anyways, going back to usage percentage, we can move on to the north, where we got the Steelers, who is a very well spread out team, so he doesn't have anyone even really close to danger. His most targeted player is Eric Ebron, and he has 21% of it, and then just below him is Smith-Schuster. They're five catches apart, but Geis is up there with 50, Washington 45, Deontay Johnson 22, his tight end has 18, his other halfback has 17, so he's very well spread out, and he's not even in danger at all. He could throw it to whoever he wants.
Good job, Drama.
Good job, Drama. Exposing dudes and keeping it under the percentage. Moving on to the Ravens. You have any fears?
I hope not. I think I'm good.
Let's get Hollywood Brown out of there.
Yeah, you're a very well spread out team. You have like five or six wide receivers with over 40 catches, so very well spread out. And Hollywood Brown is the highest targeted, but he's only at 23.8%. So you got plenty of wiggle room to try to win out your division.
Sweet.
On to you guys got a battle going there, huh?
I
You
know.
and Colts.
We do.
You
I
Green.
have to lose one if he has a chance to get in.
Is that for a wild card?
Yep, it's for that 7th spot.
Yes, sir. It's a battle to week 17 right now.
Yeah,
That'll
we've
be
got, like,
exciting one to
14.
watch. I've been watching Greeny, man. That comeback to turn the season around has been fun to watch. So, and Bacon too. You turned it around as well. So both exciting.
Yeah, he turned it around by beating the crap out of me a few weeks ago.
And moving on to the next one in the AFC North, we have the Browns, who are at 25%, with of course none other than Odell Beckham Jr. He's
Suspend him,
pretty
please.
safe there. What's that?
Suspend him.
Suspend him.
Yeah.
He's got a nice 4% to spare there, so he's in pretty good shape. Wouldn't worry too much. Moving on to the Bengals, who is in, it looks like, a lot of trouble.
He's got the weirdest stats I've ever seen.
Yeah, he does. So the Bengals are one of the ones that are over, and it's their halfback, and he's more of a running team. So as we saw with the other teams, you're seeing a lot of guys with top guys with like 60, 70 catches. His highest catch amount is 51 by Joe Mixon, his halfback. So he has a lot lower completion rate than most people just because he's more of a runner. So at 51%, that puts Joe Mixon at 33.3%. So he's got to bring that down about 4% by the end of the season, or he is going to get hit with a 4-game suspension on that. And just to give him a heads up, if he transitions a lot of those targets over to John Ross, he is currently at 26.8%. So he's a few percent under. So you'll want to watch out for both of those guys on the usage percentage, and get some more looks for Boyd, AJ Green, tight end. Maybe put Bernard more in on those third down sets. Get him some action, because otherwise you will be hit with a 4-game suspension, and you are currently 4% over.
Yikes. The good thing for him is, though, he doesn't throw it that much, so it'll be easier for him to change that percentage than it will be for other guys.
That is true. And also, he's kind of in his division. Hate to say it, but he's way out of the playoffs already, so he can kind of do whatever he wants. And benching him.
Whoa. We need him to play spoiler right now for a couple of games, so let's not go that far.
Which, hey, he can still do that. I think he can still do that with the other guys as well. He's been known to have some tricks up his sleeve, man.
He pulled off the upset last night.
Yeah, he tends to always pull off the upset somehow. He always starts off with some trouble and then comes on super strong at the end. He did the same thing in the last cycle. But hopefully that doesn't come at the cost of the start of his next season, since that's what he'll want to be looking forward to.
HD said he hopes he plays him twice in the first 4 games.
Yeah. So moving on to the AFC South, we have the Titans, who they're another running team who has a lower completion percentage. So they're like in the same boat as the Bengals as far as just being more of a run team. But he still is not up there as far as his usage percentage. He still has Jonnu Smith at 27.5%, which is kind of close. It's just a couple percent away, but he's under, and with his low completion percentage, he can, like you said, with the Bengals, he can keep it pretty. If he's doing the same thing he's been doing, he should be able to keep it close to the same as long as he doesn't just throw it to Jonnu Smith only.
I wonder how Cookie Boy feels about his play calling.
Why do you say that? Did I miss something?
He was getting mad in chat earlier. Not mad. He was making jokes about it, though.
I think I actually heard someone saying that Jonnu Smith's been like going kind of nuts, so
Yeah, he was not pleased.
maybe he will keep getting targets, but just be careful there, buddy. Colts, this is one of your division mates. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he spread the ball around pretty well in the 2 games I played him. He definitely likes looking for Jonnu Smith, who can get loose if you leave him, just a linebacker on him or such. But with him focusing a lot on King Henry over the next couple of games to secure his trying to win the division, I think he'll be fine here.
Nice. Next up, we have Texans, who kind of surprised me. I thought maybe that he might have some guys to worry about just because he's a very pass-heavy team. But despite being super pass-heavy, it seems like he's well-rounded with it because he doesn't have anybody that's up there in danger of being over the usage rules. He does have Duke Johnson Jr., his running back, at 26.3%. And just behind him, Will Fuller, the fifth, has 25.3%. So both are under, have a few percentage there. So I think he should be good to go for the season.
Yeah, it's crazy what he's done though. 3,000-yard receivers, and Duke Johnson can have an outside shot at it too if he's got two big games. He could have 4,000-yard receivers, which is pretty wild.
That is nuts. Looking at, it's crazy to see his completion numbers and Cookie's completion numbers. Like Cookie's got an insane amount of completions as well. But we'll get into that later, I'm sure. Next up, we have Greeny's team.
Crazy.
Yeah, he is. We might hear about him a little bit down the line. Just a little spoiler alert. But next up, we have Greeny with the Colts. You have any worries here?
No, a couple weeks ago I was starting to worry a little bit about Jonathan Taylor, but I've kind of eased up on throwing him the rock the past couple games, so he should be good.
Yeah, I mean, he is the highest on your team, but he's got a pretty good cushion there. He's only at 23.8%, so you're in good shape.
Yeah, I had one game with Cookie where I kind of fell in love with the screens, then got yelled at plenty of times in the chat about how many screens I threw him. So I went like 3 straight games of throwing like 1 or none. So he's good.
Yeah, I'm with you there on my running back gets a lot of action too. I'm not crazy on the screens, but I just feel like I've checked down a lot this Madden. I don't know if it's because, I mean, I have a lot of speed at wide receivers, so a lot of my guys can go deep, and I think maybe people are backing up expecting that, and then it's opening up down low because I've dumped it off a lot to my halfback and my tight end this year.
Yeah, I feel the same way. A lot of people playing over the top, and Jonathan Taylor's 94 speed. He was 93. Got a speed upgrade. He's 94 speed, and if I could hit him in the flats, things can happen. So it's nice to have that luxury.
Yeah, a lot of bend don't break defense this year because it's so like difficult. I feel like a lot of people are like, I'm not going to give up the big play. I'm going to give up the little plays and then try to stop them in the red zone. Moving on, we have the Jaguars. And they're in pretty good shape. DJ Chark has 25.3% with 62 catches. So he's got a pretty good 4% cushion there. So he's in good shape. Doesn't really have to worry. Next, we'll move on to different division to the Cowboys. Let me pull up the stats here. So the Cowboys is another one that is really well spread out. He has like one of the lowest percentages in the league. I think he has the second lowest, or tied for second lowest, as far as his top guy percentage wise, because he has CeeDee Lamb at 20%. As of that doesn't count his game today, but as of last night, he was at 20%. So he's got like a huge cushion there. Doesn't really have to worry. So he can kind of go wild on his playoff push to win the division.
Good job, CEO.
Proud of you. And then after him, we have the Washington football team, who's also very well spread out passing team. What am I doing? Sorry, I'm like having trouble finding football team. Where the fuck is it at? Is it under Washington? Oh no, that's weird. It's in alphabetical order as if it would be Washington, but it says football team.
Yeah.
So his highest used receiver is Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry. He's at 20.4%, so he's got a nice cushion there. Pass-heavy team, but well spread out, so he's not in any danger there, as he also tries to have a battle there with the Cowboys for the division, and the Giants as well is in there.
I believe, isn't this rule, or one of the two that we're going over, named after Terry McLaurin?
Yeah, the air yards rule that we'll go after over this was made after Scary Terry, but that was before he was actually in the game. That was, as you guys know, we have our own custom draft classes, and he was one of the custom players that JT made for our draft class, and I guess that was like right before I came in the league, but I heard some stories. And the air
He
yards
was on the
rule was
Eagles.
for a long
Yeah.
time called the McLaurin rule. Some still call it the McLaurin rule. So good to see that Washington football team is stopping the trend and might have it a new name now. Moving on to the Giants. And Q, who's also in pretty good shape. His most targeted player at the time was Evan Ingram, which in game it looks like he is not the highest targeted player now. It looks like Slayton stepped above him, but when I did this calculation, it was Ingram, and he was at .237, which is 23.7%, and Darius Slayton now as the reception leader should be in about that range, so you should be good, Q, because I think when I calculated this, they were like one reception apart, so you should be about in that range.
Man,
even though
Slayton
it's swapped.
in that game versus HD, had a nasty like mossed animation over two defenders back of the end zone, landed on a corner. Play was challenged, still called him inside. So I know the Giants didn't have the game go the way they wanted, but that was highlight reel play for Slayton and for Q there.
Crazy. I had to go back and watch that one. I'm hoping at some point we'll have like kind of like a weekly highlight reel with all those crazy plays like that.
I've been sending Zad some plays after my games, but I don't know if he's doing anything with them yet.
Yeah, I was wanting to do that as well, but then I've been playing like shit ever since then, so I don't really have anything to send him.
Like,
That's
here's
what
this
happens
clip.
when you
Watch my
lose.
corner get smoked again.
Yeah, here's a clip of me losing to the CPU Jets.
Oh no!
Big sad, big sad. So we'll move on to the Eagles now, who's also in good shape with Miles Sanders at 23.2%. He's in good shape. Nothing to really worry about there. He's got multiple guys with almost 60 receptions, and Miles Sanders has got like a nice 5% cushion, so he should be in good shape.
Yeah, Byrne knows the rule book like the back of his hand, so we know he's not going to break anything.
Right? Next, we'll move to the NFC West, where we have the Seahawks, and I'm in a little bit of danger. I'm going to have to be careful to finish out my season because I actually have my running back, Rashawn Penny, not over, but just on the cusp of almost being there at 29.4%. He has 77 of my team's receptions.
Dang.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like I'm pretty well spread out. I mean, Metcalf's got 41, Olsen's got 63, Penny 77, Gordon 19, Lockett 24, Disley 18, Carson 12. But despite that, the crazy 77 receptions by Penny has put me up there in the range, so I'm going to have to be careful of that. I'm not too concerned about it because I have two pretty good running backs. So I'm probably just going to transition Carson into the more total role for the time being so that he can kind of get some catches and take Penny out of that range of fear. So I can kind of keep running my same game plan but with a different player in there.
Yeah, when you were saying earlier, when we were messaging, you're saying you were in trouble. I was like, oh no, what do you do with DK after, I know a couple times I saw in the chat, some questions about you only throwing deep to DK. I was like, man, does this guy got like 100 catches or what? Then look and see it was Penny, but that's a much easier switch for you to just go from Penny to Carson than it would be to like stop targeting Metcalf downfield or something.
Yeah. I don't know why Metcalf got that rap. I think it was just because so many people were watching that one game that he had to. It was a Dev Story game, and he went like 8 for 200 and something yards, but it was because I had to get like 200 yards or 3 touchdowns to get him superstar. So that's why he kind of went wild in that game. But otherwise, yeah, he's almost at 1,000 yards, but compared to a lot of these guys, that's not even. A lot of guys have like three guys at 1,000 yards. So
Yeah, all you do is throw posts to him, right?
yeah, post or yeah, I was gonna say streaks, but I guess those are just straightened out posts as well. So and then I also made note for myself that if I do move away as I move away from Penny, I don't want to move too much to Greg Olsen because he's at 63 receptions and he's at 24%, so he's got a nice little gap there. But I don't want to transition too much to straight up Greg Olsen because that could put me in some trouble with him getting usage percentage rules against him there.
Can we take a timeout real quick?
Yeah.
The Saints Chiefs game right now, it's in the fourth quarter. It's 91-60.
Oh my God.
What is going on?
That is insane.
I thought that screenshot that Cookie Boy sent was like fake from Twitter, but that's happening in a PML game right now.
Oh my God.
It's on Vet's Twitch. What the hell?
Well, we might have to adjust some of this after that game because I'm sure there's going to be somebody with 20 catches or 380 yards or something crazy going on.
Mecole Hardman just caught a 96-yard touchdown.
Insane. I think
So
Pat Mahomes
91-66.
has already broke single game records a couple times this season. I think, even though the Chiefs haven't been winning, they've been breaking records.
How does this even happen?
Couldn't tell you, man. To be honest, I haven't watched a lot of their games because I don't match up with them at all. So I haven't had the chance to watch much of his games yet. But that's insane. I need to go back and watch some.
I mean, last night someone scored 84 points, and now they one-upped it.
They're going to more than one
That's
up, but
crazy.
they still got time.
You can go hit 100.
What are they at right now? What quarter?
It's
I mean,
91 to 2.5 minutes left.
oh my God, that's crazy. If it gets
I kinda
100,
wanted
that's
to go for
insane.
100, yeah.
That might be like the first time for PML. 90 might be a first for PML.
I think 80 is definitely not a first after yesterday. Sorry, JT. But please don't kick me.
Tank. Excuse me. So I'll try to fly through these a little bit more because, like I said, we only have 4 guys that are over, and I'm kind of slowly going through this, so I'll speed it up a little bit. 49ers, George Kittle is at 22.2%, so you're well in range there. No worries. Cards has the lowest percentage out of any wide receiver for their top wide receiver at 17.9% for Christian Kirk. So Goose can air it out to whoever he wants because he's well spread out and doesn't have to worry about it. And then finally we get to our next one who's actually above and will need to be brought down if they don't want to get suspended. Because for the Rams, their running back Cam Akers is currently at 31.9%. Let's see.
I'm just watching this game. Saints is still throwing it deep. He just threw it 50 yards to Michael Thomas to get it down to the
Oh my God,
one.
that's insane.
With
Wow,
a minute 50 left.
I thought my 77 receptions for Penny was kind of crazy, but Cam Akers for the Rams has 87 of their receptions. With the next
now he's running hurry up.
closest 52. Insanity. Moving on to the next one, we'll go to the Lions in his division. And this is where we get our third running back who is over the usage percentage and will have to be brought down. I think Cook is already in the process of bringing that percentage down, so he knows about it. He's trying to bring it down, but as of last night, I don't know if he's played today or not, but as of last night, Swift was still at 30.9% with 117 of the team's receptions. Holy crap. That's insane. 117. And, yeah, Cookie's up there with 377 completions, far above everybody else. And he will need to bring Swift quite a bit down, a couple percent. And I think he's already benched him one game, so we'll see how that affects his season, finishing off fighting for the division and where that puts him. But as of now, he's going to need to keep bringing that percentage down.
Sorry, I'm just watching this game. Saints is going for it on fourth down.
Captivated?
Vet,
Oh no!
Vet is just going. Vet is going offsides on
my
purpose
gosh.
and just tackling Drew Brees. He's on the 1 yard line.
Oh my God, this is craziness. Wow. Those.
Oh,
so
he just
bad.
scored a touchdown.
Oh,
Be
no.
98-67.
I wonder how the Chiefs is going to keep going now.
I would not blame him if he quit because Saints just went for it on fourth down after scoring 91 points, and now he's going for 2.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
Dude,
Cornell.
disrespect is real.
He's
This
like,
isn't insane.
he's like, you guys should have never said who was Cornell. I'll fucking show you.
Yeah, the jokes got to him.
Damn.
Jeez.
Oh, nice. The game lagged out, or not lagged out. Vet hit too many offsides penalties.
That's insane. How much was he up by? Because Vet could technically
He could have quit. He could get the win.
take the burn rule.
Well, he was up by like 24.
Dude, he could take the burn rule. He could take the burn
Cornell's
rule and he could get
fucking
his
kicked.
W. Wow.
Yeah. Cornell's getting
Dang.
kicked.
I kind of want to be in chat for this. I got to pull up my Discord.
That's what I'm doing. Sorry for getting us off track. I've just
No,
never seen
no,
that
this is an entertaining little segment, and I'm
And
glad we were
they're
up for
both
this.
Typing right now. This is gonna get exciting.
While they're typing or we're waiting, Cornell's typing. We know who Cornell is. Oh, this is insane.
Yeah, that's too funny.
Okay, sorry. Back to the receptions.
Yeah, no, we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll just run through these ones that don't really have to worry. The Bears have Allen Robinson at 20%, so you're well under. You're good to go. Vikings, I think Superstar was in here asking earlier. Sorry, yours was so far down the list. Adam Thielen, he has a small cushion. He's up there at 26.2%, but you still got like a little over 3% cushion there. So you are currently good to go. If you keep it about how you've been, you should be good. Packers, their running back Aaron Jones is kind of getting a little close, so something to look out for. I know he scored like 80 points today, so who knows who he went to. So if he went a lot to Aaron Jones, that could have went up a little bit, but as of last night, it was at 27.5%. The Bucks, Ronald Jones is their highest targeted player, but he's only at 5%, so you're good to go there. Ant Dog and the Falcons. Calvin Ridley is the highest targeted at 23.7%, so he's good to go. Nice cushion there. And for the Saints, who we were just talking about, he actually has a player who is currently over, and it's his running back, Alvin Kamara. So I don't know what he did on that game, but as of last night, he is 30.9% of the team's receptions with 95. So he will need to bring that down over these next few games, or he's going to get hit with a suspension. If I don't know how he's going to get hit with a suspension if he gets 4 content pieces in, and
Yeah, I don't know. Going for it on fourth, going for 2, scoring 90 in the first place.
Yeah.
We're in an unprecedented territory right now.
Cornell's been on fire the last couple games, huh? He's finally fired up. After
He
not
just said,
talking.
I'm the chief now.
I'm the chief now. This is funny.
Oh. Fast boot.
Das Boot. That is not a good look. Man.
Time for Jose.
Our final one is the Panthers with Curtis Samuel. He's at 25.7, so no worries there. So just to recap really quickly, the 3 guys that were over is Joe Mixon at 33.3%. Cam Akers at 31.9%. DeAndre Swift at 30.9%. And Alvin Kamara at 30.9% as well. The guys that need to be careful and kind of look out a little bit, Damiere Byrd is at 28.6%, so he's only got about a 1% cushion. Henry Ruggs is at 29.7, so he only has a 0.2 cushion there, so that's really super close. And then myself and Rashawn Penny, we're at 29.4, so we only got like a 0.5% cushion there. And that's it for the guys that are right there on the cusp or above.
All right, so are we going on to air yards now?
Yeah, we can move on to air yards, which we're going to kind of be doing on the fly because I did have an updated usage list, and I did at one point have a air yards one as well, but that list is outdated, so I'm going to kind of be doing this on the fly as far as calculations.
Yeah, I can start off with the first one because they have to be below 18.5 air yards per catch, right?
Yes, 18.5.
All right. So right now, John Ross is averaging 23.8 air yards,
Whew.
which is very far over the limit.
Yeah, it is.
So if he doesn't throw a bunch of screens, maybe run backwards a little bit, he's gonna get hit with that 4-game suspension, and it's gonna hurt because John Ross is his passing offense for the most part.
Yeah, I see
so
that.
Get it down these next 2 weeks.
Yeah. And he could be hit with a double whammy. We just talked about Mixon being on the usage percentage, so he could lose Mixon and John Ross both for 4 games.
Yeah, I think Bacon here though is just trying to get A-Rod to bench some players before they have that key matchup right there. So I'm willing to have A-Rod risk getting a suspension.
I'm sure you are. I'm
players
sure
in.
you are.
Yeah, just to help a brother out.
Yeah, you don't want to get accused of tanking by just taking out all your best players, right?
There you go.
Kidding. No, it would help him a lot if he got that down and got it to someone besides Mixon. But in the end, it's gonna be up to him. You got anyone else that is above?
I think Greeny might know one.
Yeah, well, I got somebody on my team, but I also saw a random one that I didn't see this coming. Golden Tate is at 20.44, and Golden Tate's not someone you think of as going deep. So I thought that was a random one to look at, and he's got 33 catches, so he's right on the brink there. But at 20.44, I thought that stuck out just because it was like Golden Tate's like a slot guy. But I have T.Y. Hilton on my team sitting at 19.5. So I got to do better bringing him down over the next couple weeks. Otherwise, the playoff hopes that I have that are already small, if I sneak into the playoffs and I lose my number one receiver, I'm gonna be hurting. So I got to do a good job of getting him the ball in some short situations the next two games.
For sure, for sure. Not too far off, so it's definitely should be able to manage that.
Yeah, yeah, it shouldn't be too difficult. But last game, I think I only got him like two catches for 20 yards, and I wound up not really going his way too often, which was a mistake because now it's come down to the last two games. But again, if I can get like seven catches, keep him some slants, some out routes, some short routes, he'll be fine.
Yeah, when this rule first got implemented, it was crazy the amount of screens you saw like the last 2 weeks of games. It was insane.
Dude's running backwards.
Yeah, yeah, we had
That's
some
what
of
the
that too. They
McLaurin
were
rule
getting
was. He
negative
did
yards.
that.
Yeah.
McLaurin did that the next season.
Oh,
That's
and
terrible.
sorry to interrupt real quick, but Natural, you were asking in the chat. You missed yours. You were wondering what your usage percentage for Bird was. Was that it? He was at 28.6, so he is under by a percent, but he's right there on the cusp. So just keep an eye on that.
And then he's just under the air yards too. He's at 17.4 air yards per catch. So if he just doesn't play him, he'll be fine.
Bacon says, "Don't play him."
I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying if he doesn't play him, he'll be
And
okay.
you were saying Golden Tate. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna run that calculation real quick. So he has 950 yards and 275 rack. So that puts, Golden Tate is above, and he's just 3 catches over that 30 limit. So he is currently at 20.4. So he's currently looking at a suspension if that doesn't get brought down. He's at 20.4 at the moment. You guys got
Yeah, I just
anybody
thought that
else that you know
was
for sure?
such a that
Yeah,
was
that
such a
is a
random
shocker. I
run.
don't think I would have caught that. That was a good eye on that one because I would have been looking at maybe Slayton or
Yeah.
Ingram thinking they'd be the deep guys, but no.
Yeah,
I found one
Julio's just
more.
over too. Julio's
Yep.
just over. I think he's at like 19.58. So he's not too far off, but he's still over by a bit. Just gotta pay attention to
Okay.
that.
Okay. Let me
And
just
then
kind
one
of.
who's close is Allen Robinson. He's at
Yep.
17.7.
I was just looking at that. Okay. So Robinson's good, but you only got 2 yard cushion there, so keep an eye on that. Let's see. Let me just kind of go through it alphabetically, see if there's anybody else that catches the eye, the high average.
There's the one guy who's got, on your team that doesn't have enough catches yet, but you got to be careful over the next two games not to, while you're not throwing to Rashad Penny. If you start targeting Josh Gordon, he could be in some trouble too because he's at 20.94 with 19 catches. So if you're going to not throw to Penny, don't just start chucking the ball to Gordon because that might hurt you too.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was looking at that and I was like, he's well under 30, but now he's kind of getting up there, so definitely gonna have to be careful on that one. 2 games left, so. Let's see. Let's see if Diggs is good. He's up there at 22. Yeah, he's good because he's got a good amount of catches. Broncos is in the clear. Beckham Jr. has so much rack, there's no way that he's going to be over. Chris Godwin might be up there. Let's see. 1,040 yards, minus 306. And for anyone curious about how this is calculated, you take the total receiving yards, and then you subtract the rack yards, and you divide it by the reception amount, and that will give you your air yards if before the end of the season you want to see where your guys are at, if you have anybody close.
Yeah, you just mentioned the rack yards by OBJ. I was just looking at 734.
Yeah, it's insane.
Putting people on skates after he catches the ball.
Yeah, he's isn't that one of his like abilities? Is
Yeah, jukebox.
gotcha.
He has grab and go too, which is a human joystick basically.
Yep. That
Chargers
was
is
like it for
good.
people that are over, really.
What about Tyreek? He's got a good amount of racks, so probably not, but I'll check just in case. Sorry if you're in the chat, I can't see it right now because I got my calc up, but I do have the Discord up right here. If anybody has any questions. 534. Oh yeah, he's way in the clear with that rack. Colts, you already know about. Hilton.
Yes, sir.
Cowboys is good. Dolphins is good. Gotta check Deshaun Jackson. He might be up there. Jackson is good, but he's kind of a little bit close to being up there. He's at 16.8, so he's still got a good 3-yard cushion, which is pretty good for an average. So Eagles is good. We already mentioned Julio. Niners is good. Golden Tate to look out for Q and the Giants.
Hollywood Brown is good, but he should still be benched for the next 2 weeks. Just give him those legs some rest.
If you bench Jonathan Taylor, I'll bench Hollywood Brown.
That's
Bargaining.
a tough one. Yeah.
Lions is good. Let's check that just in case. For the Packers. He doesn't have a ton of rack yards. Nope, he's good. Packers is good. JT is good. We mentioned Bird being on the cusp there. Watch out for that. Henry Ruggs has got an insane amount of racks, so he's good. We thought OBJ had a lot. Ruggs has 813 rack yards.
That's
Yep.
insane.
My DBs were trailing him for
But
most of our game the other day.
he's got damn near 2,000 yards already.
His rack yard is more than some people's leading receiver.
Right?
Total yards.
Yeah, I think he has more than DK.
Scrolling through teams, he has more than the Rams' leading receiver.
Yeah, I don't see anybody else. It looks like everyone's
Yeah,
pretty
everyone else is
good.
in the clear.
I need to check DK just for integrity purposes because everybody says he's a cheesa. 16.1, ladies and gentlemen.
Great work.
You know what that means? Next 2 games is going up top to DK repeatedly.
Is Schuster? Schuster might be up there. no, he's good. 15.7. Oh, let's check those guys.
Yeah, the Texans guys are all pretty close, but good. I mean,
They're
they got a
good?
lot of rack
Okay.
too. Yeah.
Because I was just looking at Cooks and Goodwin and wondering if maybe they were. But they do have decent amount of rack. Yeah, I think that rack will put him in the clear.
Yeah, I think when I did it before, they were like 14, 15 each. So yeah, they got some room to go.
Well, fellas, it looks like everyone else is in the clear, so not looking in pretty good shape on that as far as the air yards. Besides those guys we mentioned up front, which was help me remember John Ross, Golden Tate,
Julio.
Julio,
Ty.
Ty.
Yeah. That's nice though. I got to play 2 of those guys the next 2 games, so I don't have to worry about deep threats.
That's what they want you to think. Really, what they're going to do is they're going to just go over A-Rod's going to go over the top to Ross like 4 times. You're not going to expect it. And then he's going to trade him to try to avoid the suspension or something.
I think that's in the rule actually. If the player isn't on your team the next season, your highest rated receiver just gets the suspension instead.
Yeah, that's correct.
But his next highest rated receiver is going to be
Ant
a dead AJ Green.
Ant Dog was asking what he is over in. I believe Julio was
19.5,
19.5 on the air yards, which is under, but it's very close to being over. Because you have, or wait, sorry, how much did you say?
He's at 19.5.
Oh, 19. Actually, never mind. That's a 1 over. It's 18.5. So yeah, he's actually over at the moment. So you need to bring down that air yards average by 1 yard. It looks like it's mainly due to him just not having a ton of rack. It's mainly air yards that he's getting on his catches. So, screens and things like that help. Yeah, drags.
That'll help.
Alrighty, fellas. Well, I think that about wraps it up. How did the chat end up after? I didn't get to keep up on it. How did we end up looking after the Saints?
There's some pitchforks, some boots, some pictures of boots. There's a whole bunch of mess going on out there.
Talking about bring back Jose. Jose to the Saints.
Oh, I expect the vet to be a little bit more feisty. I guess it's just I think it's just towards HD. He gets real super feisty.
Yeah, he's not in chat a lot, but he lurks a lot. He's there, even when you don't see him.
Yeah, no, vet's cool. He'll chat in DM sometimes too, and cool guy. But don't piss him off, HD.
Yeah, be nice to him, HD.
Alrighty, guys. Well, it's getting late for me, and I know it's definitely late for Bacon, so we'll go ahead and call it. And I will go ahead and put the document in the chat as well, so you guys can just see the numbers there as well. But yeah, check out and support the content. And if you made it this far, we appreciate you. And even if you didn't, we still appreciate all of the PML family. You guys got any closing words?
I do not. Just get those yards down.
I got some words. Let's see. A-Rod maximize Joe Mixon and John Ross. Week 17 versus Bacon. I'm having a movie theater watch party at my house. I'm kicking my family out. I'm making some popcorn, and I'm ready.
He's making your game a movie, so you cannot let this man down. You have to bring the theatrics.
We know he will. Might see a couple wildcat runs, a couple verticals to Ross.
1 or 2 or 15, whatever.
I don't know. For
You
some
said it,
reason,
not me.
A-Rod just strikes me as the type of guy who might just say, "Fuck it, I don't care, suspend him."
Yeah, I think he would. I don't think he cares.
I'm I'm hoping for that right now because I need that Bacon loss pretty badly right now, and I still got to win out. So it's I still got to play my part. But this has been fun.
Yeah, I appreciate you fellas joining me. Sorry if I took all your airtime. I know going
That's all
through
right.
that sheet took quite a bit. I'm glad that you guys were able to give me the 101 on the Chiefs Saints game because I got to run that back now.
Yeah, I think we're all gonna watch that right now.
All right, fellas, I'm gonna shut down this stream. PML fam, y'all have a good night.